Hello.
Hi, Faizal.
Hi, Weiling. Thanks for joining.
Hi. No problem. I got the link from Nazreen, so I'm just like, being cappuccino.
It's okay. That would be good. Kepuchi is always good.
Never stop learning. Yeah.
I guess
so my my bandwidth here is not very good, so I'm not going to put on my video.
Okay, I had the same problem. I think you were cut off just now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we let's pray that we'll be okay towards the end. But it seems that
Sure.
more people are using. We'll just wait for a few more minutes. I would say another 5 more minutes, and then we'll start.
No problem.
Even
No
if
problem.
I'm the only one.
Okay, thank you.
Are you part of this VRC 4.0 or which previous class?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm actually a trainer. So actually, I've got the link from Nazreen.
Okay.
He posted in the various, I think, trainers group, so that people can sign in and support you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And I guess I should receive good feedback. Not,
Awesome.
not feedback that I'm good, but it's a feedback of how I'm doing. Yeah.
Certainly. But you are a trainer. You are a trainer as well.
Not been for long, just about 1.5 year since.
That's good enough.
But I've not been training as much as you guys, I suppose.
I was a freelance trainer, but now I'm attached with Habib actually. So yeah, so I do mostly now internal training, although previously I'm more involved in corporate trainings.
What kind of subjects, topics that you typically?
Mostly soft skill.
Such as? I'm always confused.
I'm before I joined Habib, I actually trained a lot of psychology-based communication program. If you have heard of Colored Brain, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my core module. Although I'm also NLP certified, so I do use different methodology in my training approaches.
Hi, Jeremy. Are you able to hear us?
Hi, Faizal. How are you doing?
Not too bad. The day is getting darker and darker today. So, but my mood is not dark yet, so I guess I'm okay.
That's good. Because your topic is on colors, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you look at my logo, so basically we're talking colors.
Okay.
You came across this book called Surrounded by Idiots. Have you come across that book?
No, not really, no.
Okay. That's basically the gist of what I'm going to talk today.
Okay.
It's not about people of colors. It's talking about the colors of people's behavior.
Oh, I see.
Personalities and so on. So that's what we'll cover today. So like I was saying to Weiling just now, we wait for another 2-3 minutes and see a few more people if they're in. So by I think 3:03 we should be able to start already.
Hello, Weiling.
Hi, Jeremy. I enjoyed your talk this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for saving me. I think you're the one who brought up the point about the Mentimeter.
Yes, that's right. I know your screen was frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Lucky you told me.
No
Yes,
worries.
it's
No
one of the
worries.
challenges we have, right? With this online training, our bandwidth and all this.
Yeah.
Hey, Laila.
Hi, Laila. How do we call you? Do we call Laila or Aljo?
Laila.
Oh,
Oh, Aljo. Yeah, Aljo is okay.
Hi, Laila. Laila, are you here?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
We are like fierce convention going on in the world, running from one Zoom meeting to the other Zoom meeting. I tell you, we're just crazy, man.
It's going to be like this for the next 2-3 weeks.
But because we want to support everyone, so whoever is,
I thought you said you had a meeting with your boss.
Yeah, he just wanted some information. So so he's attending another meeting. I ran up here.
Now I know why the bandwidth is not so good. So many people are meeting. But normally I find it the worst on Monday morning. Monday morning and Tuesday evening. For some reason, the connection is really, really bad.
It's like everyone doing the same thing at the same time.
I guess so, because we through my other company, we're trying to do weekly sharing, and we found out Monday give up, Tuesday night give up. So we found out Thursday morning is still okay, but otherwise no way. I mean, it's not that in my house also, I am in another room, which is not so good connection. In my house.
So this company, Faizal, this is your own company, and you do consulting?
Yes, this connection network is something that is my own. I have another company called 3i Consortium. IIT, we do entrepreneurship and sales and some part of marketing. Marketing is basically something that my partners are good at. We do all this executive development, but that's not my forte. So mine is typically on sales consulting.
So what do you market? What do you market?
I don't market much. I do B2B sales. Most of my work is actually on consulting rather than training.
Okay.
I'm a freelance sales consultant right now. I'm looking at how to strategize companies, because sometimes they want for them to hire experienced salespeople, quite expensive. So they have the younger guys, 2 or 3 years experience. And of course, these people are not yet that well exposed to get the strategies, planning everything to the market. So I help that kind of companies and train them and drag these people out to the market I put them in front of the clients, and it's fun just dragging them, putting them in front of the clients and talk.
See how they react.
The youngsters, right? They are kind of, for whatever reason, they're shy. So, or I don't know if it's shyness or whatever, but the thing is that they are reluctant to meet with the customers. So what I do is I just put them in front to ask the customers questions to get them to understand all this. Because it is sad, because these people are hardworking, but they're working hard the wrong way.
Yeah, true. I agree. How's the beach?
Sorry?
How's the beach?
The beach.
Jeremy.
Very nice, very nice. Very breezy.
Hi, Nurul.
Very breezy. Hey, Nurul.
Hello.
Wow, Nurul, you're going from place to place, huh? You're going from room to room.
Yes. I'm trying to learn as much. It's free resources, Jay.
Yes.
I agree. What do you think? I was telling the boss, okay, boss, I got other things to do.
Yeah. I can see you now. Just now I thought you're going for meeting. Good. Glad to see all my team is here. Yay.
Oh my God.
All the best, Faizal, right? Yeah, all the best.
Because the things that I also had another session this morning, something similar, but more on sales.
Oh.
Tonight I was supposed to have another one, but I said no. Time to relax. Okay, so it's already 3:06 according to my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me send
All
a
the best.
reminder
All
in
the
the group.
best. I'll mute
Yep.
myself now.
So let's start, and let me share. I would say this thing called connecting with colors. Actually, I think you guys already know what this connecting with colors is, but anyway, let's go through it. Let me see if it will. Okay, connecting with colors. Connect, help, and serve. Right, and this talk I prepared mainly was for salespeople, because not many salespeople know how to connect and they just want to get the sales. So thank you for that, for joining me this afternoon. And if you look there, there's a huge thumbprint there with all the colors. I will go through it in a bit to tell you what the colors are, why are the colors our thumbprint. So let me just begin with this also. Before we even begin, know this, that your ability to connect and relate is much more of who you are, right? Who you are, or what you see, I am, who you are inside, more than what you know. You can learn a lot of things, but if you're inside, who you are is not there, nothing much will go through. Yeah. So this is said by this Ron Willingham in his book called The Inner Game of Selling. Like I say, it's geared towards more for salespeople. But if you look into a lot of the other areas in life also, if who you are, or from our personal perspective, who I am, do not really jive with things that we want to do, things that we want, you're not going anywhere. Yeah. So the challenges, I would say, I will ask these questions: are you a salesperson? Are you a team leader? Are you a project delivery manager? Are you a teacher, parent, husband, wife, or partner? Or basically, do you meet people regularly? As long as you meet with people, you face people, are you able to relate with people around you? Yeah. And let me see. Okay, Sarina. Okay, one more, Susan. Give me a few seconds. Let me just add a few more people. Okay. I welcome Susan and Sarina. We just started. So if you're meeting people regularly, are you able to relate with people around you? Your customers, your teammates, your partner, your children, anyone, right? Anyone that you have to work with or to connect and contact with on a daily basis. Okay? So let's see what does Dr. Covey has to say. So there are so many things about the 7 habits, but today I'm gonna focus really on the number 5. Seek first to understand, and then understand. A lot of people want a lot of things from people, but they are only looking at it from their own perspective and not the other person's perspective. So in sales, this is what salespeople normally do. They just want to sell something. They just want to get a revenue. They just want to meet their quota. They really care what the other person wants, what the other person needs. Yeah. So let's look at seek first to understand and then to be understood. So upon at least this 1 hour, you will be able to, or if we come for the full training, you'll be able to connect, relate, and build a long-term. Even though Dr. Stephen Covey say win-win relationship, I'm looking at win, 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 and more wins. Okay. So connect with clients and understand what they want, what they need, and what's bugging them. To get clients to open up and let them ask for your help. Let me share. Have I shared the screen? Okay, sorry. Okay, and get clients to open up and let them ask for your help. Get orders and work without you really asking. So I'm sure most of you guys here are seasoned trainers, I would say. Can you say yes or no who are seasoned trainers here? Where's my chat room? My chat room is missing. Let me see where's my chat room.
Okay. Faizal, are you back?
Yes, I am back now. Hi,
Okay.
Yolanda. Okay, let me just sort this thing again. Okay, is everybody still around? Okay, since we are all trainers, right? Can I safely assume that we all have to connect with people daily? So if you do, can you just type in Y or yes there? Okay, so that's obvious, right? We are all trainers. So, and then once you done the training with the clients, with a client or a few clients, can you share with me how many of you have received continuous or multiple requests to come back and teach? Can I have another yes? Oh, okay, good. So we have a multiple yes there. So the idea is to get orders and work without even asking. Like we hear Nazrin sharing with the stories, the client comes back again and again asking him, and I'm sure you guys experience the same thing, for the clients to come back and say, hey, we need to do this, we need to, because you connected with them, okay? So you continue to get work without even asking. Or at least if you're not a client-facing person, relate with your teammates or relate with your colleagues. Okay, Sharina, this is something that you can probably look at it, how to get the customer to come back to you, right? And I've seen this, for example, in my industry, in the oil and gas industry, we do have these tenders and so on, people just bid, but there are ways for the client to come back and to favor you a lot of time, okay, without you do funny things. So at least you are, okay, one more person, let me help. Okay, and also for you to relate with your students, with your children, and if you're married or have a partner, with your spouse, yeah? Okay, so what will you learn or unlearn today, at the very least, is about you, okay? And it's about them meaning people around you. When I do my sales presentation on this, it's your customers and your clients. Remember, we want them to come back to us over and over again, so we have to connect with them, yeah? So this is again habit number 5. Habit number 5 that we talked earlier from Dr. Stephen Covey on his 7 Habits book. And let's look first at you. Yes, you. It's not Uncle Sam wants you, it's you. It's about you. I mean, there are parts of you, okay? You as a person, right? And then you as the professional doing the work, the quality of work and so on. And as a whole, you as a brand. But today we're not going to go so much into all these other things. We just look at you as a person first. Because it's really all about you. If you don't get this about you, it's tough to get the other things. In his book, Ron Williams just now, The Inner Game, there are so many things we think, I deserve to be, I can be, I want to be, I will be. But really, does this whole thing jive with I am, with who I am? This goes back to your inner value, your values, your inner value, your inner self. I mean, you know, we learned that we have our conscious self, our subconscious self, our values that have been inculcated in us. So those are the things that we have inside. So if the inside does not feel right about the outside, we're just going to trip ourselves. So let's look at how to connect with that and what does that mean. So if I can just share shortly for a short while, who am I and how I started in all this, my story, my evolution. Okay, I guess the same face, the same hairstyle. I started working, doing all these menial jobs after SPM, doing chicken, selling chicken, cleaning aircraft, and so on. And I was a scholar of TNB, came back, worked in the power plant, and got bored. What I did after that was I left TNB from the control room environment, went out to the oil field, joined this company called Schlumberger, and I was at the wellhead almost every single day, if I'm not processing the data back in the office. I left during the downturn of 1999, got a baby, didn't feel like going to back to the wellhead again, and became a sales engineer. Subsequently moved the ranks into sales manager, became an account manager, business development, and so on. This is when I read all these books, went to all these seminars, and applied a lot of things. And what I'm sharing with you guys today is what I found to be working for me, at least. So feel free to try this or learn from the references I'm going to share towards the end later. See if it works for you or not. Yeah. And with all this knowledge, I thought, okay, I'm going to share this with people. And in 2019, I decided to take the option of leaving full-time employment and started as a trainer, consultant, but not so much on coaching. To be honest, I'm not such a patient person to be coaching all the time. Yeah. So let's begin also going into deeper look at our why. Right. This is like the motivational thingy, the thing that keeps us going all this time. And the Muslims would like to call it the nawaitu. What's really down there that drives us. And it's not something that I invent, to be again honest. It's something that you don't even have to think really. It's why you do and still doing whatever that you do. And this is not new again, it's quite popular. It started by this guy, everybody knows this handsome guy, right? Okay, who doesn't know this guy? Can I see N in the chat if you don't know the guy?
Faizal, are you sharing your screen? Because we can't see it.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, it's stop. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So can you see this handsome guy? Not me, definitely. So who knows this guy?
Seen it.
Let me see, where's my
Simon
chat? Sorry? What's happening to my screen? Apologies, my Zoom and my screen is freezing for a bit. Let me just do something about it. Okay, this guy, as you know it, is famous on TED Talk and his book, Start With Why and Find Your Why. Really, if you don't have a reason why, there are a lot of things that you will find tough to do, tough to move. Yeah, and I don't know if you can move at all, right? And he says, quite simple, the gist is that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. If you do not know why you do it, it's really tough, to be honest. I know that very well. Yeah. I don't know where's my controls gone. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we look into the golden circle, which is he has popularized, he has talked about it with a lot of time. And at the outside is what we do. Yeah. And how we do what we do really depends on why are we doing it. Without knowing the why, understanding our why, I find a lot of my students struggle. Yeah. But once they know their why, it's kind of so easy for them to do stuff. They find what you call this, the motivation is there already, and even the how comes in so easy. When something that they used to think, oh, difficult lah, don't know this lah, how this lah, whatnot, it's so easy now. Yeah. So with this why, it helps a lot of people. Yeah. Okay, now let's look at you, your own personality, that you know that your why, you have something that drives you, right? We talk about not knowing you, not moving anywhere. So now let's look at you personally and your personality. Everybody, how we behave, why even we have our why, things that we do, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we do things, it's all down our personality, how we function, why do we function the way we do again, and that also gives us our strength. And some people say, yeah, we do have weaknesses also, but let's look at our strength. Okay, who doesn't know this DISC? I'm sure that since you guys are trainers, you know the DISC. Say yes, why? You know the DISC? Right. Oh, okay. Okay. What I will do today is share with you, from my perspective, an easier way to look at the DISC. Because most people, even including me, when I ask them, okay, you know what DISC is, but what is D? What is I? What is S? What is C? People like me fumble, right? But when we look at colors, people who are visual and so on, it becomes easier to imagine the red, the yellow, the green, and the blue. And one thing that we realize that, for example, if you have the stop sign, right? Without the red color on the stop sign, you have STOP if you go to Britain or US, or you have berhenti in Malaysia, BERHENTI. So a lot of people, like I say, if you're trying to say what are these DIS or C, wondering, okay, berhenti, what does this mean, right? But when you look at color, the red, there's no entry sign, there's no word there, but we know red. Okay, oops, stop. So same as colors and personality. It's not to say that if you have a red personality, stop. Okay. This is, okay, you might think that this is what the avatar character, but this is a simple illustration of who we are typically. We have colors. We have many facets of colors. Right? We can see the red, blue, yellow, a splash of green. Okay. And what does this mean? We want to look at what are your colors and what are their colors. Their mean people who are around us. In sales, we're looking at the clients, the people that we deal with, what are their colors, in an effort to understand them, to know them, and to be able to connect with them. Okay? And knowing their colors and knowing our colors, we will get to see and know how we function first, then how they function. Yeah. Okay, there are 4 colors. So for those who are familiar with DISC, these are how we assign the colors to the DISC, similar to what Nazrin talked about, which is the style. Yeah, it's just that for us, colors makes it easier for us to visualize. Okay, on the upper half, we have this kind of characteristic: extrovert, active, always jumping here and there, want to do things, can't sit still. The lower half, we have people who are a bit more introvert, subdued, passive, or even reserved. On the other side, right side, we have people who are more relation and people oriented. They can't do things alone. They like to do it with people. They like to be surrounded by people. And on the other side, you have people who don't care so much in terms of relating with people, as long as the task gets done. The task gets done, the issue gets resolved, right? I don't really care about these other people, for example. One example is if you are to transfer one employee to another city, right? So a person who is green would think, okay, how is the family going to cope? The schooling, the surrounding, the connections, the support that they have. But the person who is red, okay, you have to be transferred to this other city. There is a position to be filled in. There are tasks to be done. You deal with your family. So that's the kind of spectrum. And actually, it's not new. This is one of the popular books in the market that you can get today and explain to you in quite humorous and easy to understand ways. The book is, like I say, it's called Surrounded by Idiots. Why is it idiots? Typically, the guys who see all the others are idiots are the red guys, because they want to get things done fast, fast, fast. And when you have people who are kind of not quick on their feet, not quick to move, want this, want that before you can do anything, so idiots, that kind of thing, you know. So by understanding people according to their colors or their combination of colors, you will realize that they are not idiots. It's just the way how they function. And vice versa, these people might see the red guy idiot, always wanting everything fast, right? So this is how you remove the condition that people are idiots, kind of way. So let's look at what is typical with the colors. Okay, I include there also some terms that you might be familiar. For example, the D dominant. In some books, like the Florence Litauer book, Personality Plus, it's called, 1 second, go back. Okay, in Florence Litauer book, she calls these characters choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. And then if you look into the corresponding, I call this, second, hey, where's the chat one?
You need to share your screen, Faizal.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for reminding.
Welcome.
Okay. One second. Okay, these are the typical characters that you see. And sometimes if you look at yourself, typically we belong or we have from each color. For example, for me, I always like direct action. I'm not that involved with many people, and I have minimal interest in routine. So that gives us a few colors, yeah. And question now is, how do you see yourself? Are you driven? Are you competitive? Are you time conscious? That's a typical, again, the characteristics of the yellow red person. And for the yellow, is always enthusiastic, creative, easygoing. Yeah, always fun, fun, fun. And for a green guy, he's relaxed. You know, we always say, people say, relax, let's go for teh tarik first. Relax dulu, okay? And they would always like to go places with friends. Yeah. For example, I do some bicycle ride or motorcycle ride. I always do it alone. But I have friends who cannot do it alone. They will have to go with a few, at least 3 or 4 people with them. Then only they're comfortable. Yeah. And these people also like to, you see that like to lepak. Yeah. They like to lepak with their gang. And you have these blue guys. everything has to be systematic, orderly. They don't assume anything. They want facts before they make any decision, right? And sometimes, like I said earlier on, they have combination. And what are the typical combinations? You might have a red yellow or a yellow red, right? But not necessarily in equal order. And for me, I have a stronger red and I have a bit less yellow and also have a bit of blue, okay? And typically you will see these combinations, green, blue, blue, green, yellow, green, or red, blue. So for me personally, I can share with you, I have red, yellow, and a little bit of blue, and very, very, very little green. It's not that I don't care about people, it's that when I work, I want to do things fast, right? But when I go in the mode of relating, I will go into my yellow and green mode. So because we all have this internal and external, right, that we can learn to switch from time to time. So the arrow that you see here describe what are typical combinations, right? We normally see 2 or 3 combinations. We hardly see any 4. In one of our academies, we saw one lady with the combination of 4 characteristics, all the red, yellow, green, blue, and she's always stressed out because she's trying to balance all this. Okay, and in the book, Surrounded by Idiots, Thomas Erickson even mentioned something like, if you have all these 4, you're likely to be a schizophrenic. Okay, you have to balance all this. But normally you have 2 or 3 with 1 minor. And if you have a combination like green and red at the same time, it's tough again if they are equally strong, because it's really opposite, yeah, or blue and yellow. Okay, so let's look at their strength. We have to learn what is great or not about you, about us. And red, these are the typical things that we see, right? And not all negative, but not all positive. So it depends on how you look at it. They are aggressive, which is to some people can be negative, but to some people are great because they are ambitious, strong-willed, and so on. And let's look at the yellow. You know, when we go to a party or we set a dinner table, there's always somebody who's talk non-stop and the loudest voice. I mean, who doesn't have this kind of friend with the loudest voice? Or are you the one with the loudest voice when you sit at a kopitiam? So if you have a loud voice, I want to see why. Yes, 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 yes. Anyone? So we are all shy people, fine. Or if we have people, okay, Yolanda, yes, yes, yes. Right? We like to talk, we like to tell stories and all that, yeah? So it's great that we have friends also who are relaxed, that we can take anywhere else. They are good listener, helpful, very supportive, right? So these are the greens. But sometimes they tend to conceal their feelings. They don't say what they are or what they think or they feel about upfront, right? So the good part is that they are always reliable, composed, easy to talk to. And if you're someone who is blue, right? They always need everything to be in order. Things are done methodically, right? Who love Excel spreadsheets here? Who love the facts? Say yes. Okay, so we have a yellow and green so far. Maybe not that many who are blue. Okay. Okay. Okay, we have Hira joining. Hi, Hira.
Hi.
Okay, I just continue now. And okay, when we look at this, yeah, there are so many combinations that we say just now. We have, like me, I'm a red and yellow. So I don't have all these characteristics, but I have combinations, and you have the combinations of these characteristics. Okay. And in our training, normally what we do is we spend at least a 2 or 3 hour session. We go through role play, and this is typically for salespeople. And we have done something similar also for team dynamics to get the team members to understand the other person and how they can work and complement the other person's strength. We all have our weaknesses, so we want to look at how someone who has this kind of strength, right, and complement this person's weaknesses. And rather than you highlight, you are this. So let's look at how to plug that, yeah, working in the team. Okay, and like I said earlier, there's always the left and the right. And when you are a dominant, or choleric, or a red person, people can see you as pushy. But again, you are determined. You are determined, strong-willed to get things done. If you are a yellow, people can say that you are undisciplined, always everywhere, jumping from one project to another. But then again, you are enthusiastic. You're always enthusiastic about things, and you need things to keep your mind moving and going. If you're a blue person, sometimes they look to be indecisive. Okay, they want everything to be correct as per their requirements and so on. But on the flip side, they are very diligent and they are persistent in getting things done, methodical. The green guy, we can say that they are stubborn, right? But at the same time, they are very helpful, very supportive, and so on. Yeah. So there's always the left and the right. If you look at every colors, that's why a combination of colors is good. Yeah. And we are not looking at weaknesses. Okay, we don't want to look into that. So let's play a quick game of spotting them. There's no really right or wrong answer. It's something that you can practice over time. Who doesn't know this guy? Who knows him? Type his name there. Okay, Yolanda, you are. It's okay because you're from Norway. Okay, like they say, if you look in the chat room, there are say Chef One. Okay, if you see Chef One in his show, right? He is a very I would say this word, springy. Like it's like jumping, happy from one thing to another, talking in a very fun way. So immediately he seems to be from my assessment, to be a yellow person, a yellow guy. But remember that he's cooking some nice recipes, and he has to know and remember how much cumin to add, how much curry powder to add, all this. So there's some methodical mind at work there. So he has a combination of blue, right? And I understand he runs a business also. Typically, when you run a business, you have tasks to get done, tasks that has to be done, right? So Laila is correct there, yellow, and he's a personable person, and there's a green in there, okay? But when he runs his business, I would expect him to be a red person. Yeah? So we won't know the actual combination, because people do tend to put on the certain colors in certain situations. We have internal and external, right? In some work, we have to be this kind of person. For example, the bosses or the business person, the owners, CEOs, and all that, when they are at work, they have to be this driving guy. They're expected to be red. Otherwise, things won't get done. But when they get home or when they are with their friends, they can be otherwise. Yeah. Next. Okay, again, who doesn't know this guy? I'm not too sure if his show is in South Africa or not, but I bet it's not there. So who knows this guy? Gurmeet Singh. Okay, so Jeremy sees Gurmeet Singh. Nurul sees him as Phua Chu Kang, right? Again, there we can see the two parts of it. As Phua Chu Kang, in this particular character, he's a yellow, funny guy, even with his boots. Okay, yellow boots. But when his Gurmit sing, I have seen him to be a blue. Okay, I went to his show as Gurmit Singh. It was a Bahasa or Malay language show, Lawak Kedah. Okay, and surprise, surprise, he spoke Bahasa or the Malay language way better than I do. His what is it, Tata Bahasa in English, I mean the arrangement of the words, sentences, perfect, like we learn in school. And he did, I would say 80% of the show in Bahasa, right? That shows a mind or a behavior of somebody who is a blue. And at the same time, he is presenting funny stuff, which is a yellow stuff, right? And he is trying to relate to everybody, which is a green. So you have to look at how this thing balance, how is the mix, okay? So there's no hard and fast rule. You are green, blue, or not. You have to look at the situation and how he combines it. Okay, who doesn't know this again? The mother of Malaysia, I call her. Has anyone, okay, Yolanda, she is the wife of the former Prime Minister, Tun Mahathir, just until, I think, is it March? She was the so-called First Lady of Malaysia, Tun Siti Asma. Okay, and you will always see her with this kind of face, be it on the news, on TV, a live video, articles, whatnot. She always sports the same face, a serene, calm face of a green person. Okay, you will hardly see her jumping, enjoying things like a yellow person. She's always smiling, right? She is complimenting her husband. The husband is a very red blue guy, you know, but she is the other side. But if you have had the chance to work and report to her as your boss, my mom had, she's a doctor, and as a young doctor then, she was my mom's boss. Her red part comes out. Very stern, very detailed. These things have to be done now, right? So that's her in her work element. But in the day-to-day element, this is how we see her. A very serene and calm, grand old lady. Yeah. And okay, ladies would know him. Who doesn't know him? Ladies, you love your shoes? Hira also knows him. Superb. Okay, Jeremy knows him. Okay, superb. Right. So, what color do you think he is? A very detailed and meticulous person. Aziz, you are partially right. Wow, Welling, spot on. Did you see the hair part there? Yeah, it's a methodical person's hair. Even the strand there is nicely combed. Yeah, and you look at his watch, his collar, everything. So he's a blue person, very methodical, smart, details, right? And to be honest, I have not really seen the green part of him because he doesn't really appear that many times on TV, or at least the ones that I've seen. But I can see that he's a very blue person, and Aziz is right that he's a red person. And as an entrepreneur, you have to be driven. You have to do things as an entrepreneur. So you need to do in your element task to be done and so on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Most Malaysians would know this again. Again, Yolanda, apologies because this was actually put together for guys that I know in Malaysia. So okay, he's supposed to be the funniest person in the world, and normally a funny person is a yellow, right? And do you realize that he also runs a business? And as somebody put this just now, running a business, you do need elements of red. I'm not too sure if he's that relatable with people or not, but I know he's kind of funny. Yeah. Okay, now I take it closer to home. None of you might know these people, but if you look at their pictures here, can you possibly say what colors they are? This one, what do you think the color is? Anyone care to shoot anything? Anyone else? Okay, now let's look at this one. Okay. Okay. And this one. This cheeky boy, what color do you think he is? Here I got it spot on. Welling spot on. Okay, these are my boys from 3 different marriages. Okay, this one is my stepson, my wife's son from her previous marriage. His color is not so much yellow. He has a lot of blue and red. He's an entrepreneur. He does share market analysis, and you need that blue person's perseverance and analytical mind. At times, yes, he becomes yellow when he has his youngest brother with him. Okay, and it has a bit of green as well. But most of the time, he's a blue and what call this? Red. It's not that easy, to be honest, just by looking at the picture. But when you meet a person, and this is what we do in our course, is we have role plays. And you also get to play the colors that you are not, so just to have an understanding of how it feels, really. Okay. And this is my son from my first marriage. He is more of a yellow, happy. He likes to look green, but there are times when he dresses really well, becomes a bit of a blue. He doesn't have that much red in him, right? But he likes to be around people, and in fact, he brings people to the cafe that he works because people just like to be around him. Okay, when he's not around, you don't have that many people going to that cafe. But when he's around, people keep coming. Friends, his family, friends of friends, family of friends, things like that. This is our youngest, and his face really says it all, cheeky, right? But funny enough, he's also a blue, because when you build those Gundam models, the Gundam toys, right? You need to be meticulous, be able to put them together. But when his yellow part comes in, he mixed from this particular model with this particular model. I don't know what happened. At one time, we bought him some group of toys, and it becomes something else completely, right? So even with my boys, there are 3 different characters from the father and mother, different characters, yeah? So we need to understand this. We need to understand our kids' characteristics and personalities so that we can relate with them best. And this is also on top of, you heard of what call this, 5 love languages. So that helps a lot when we relate with our loved ones. Yeah. Okay, so where are they in the world? Really, if you look in the world, these are the typical demographics of people's characters and personalities. Yeah, we have very few portion of the reds, people who are let's go do, and not that many people also with a yellow kind of behavior, right? Otherwise, if you have so many yellows, and when you go to a restaurant, everybody wants to speak, right? So this is why we only have out of 10 in sitting at a cafe or restaurant, 1 or 2 or of our friends, we always speak. The rest is, okay, let's see how. Right? The guys, let's see how, are the greens. Okay, you guys can talk, I listen to you, things like that, right? And also you have the quiet, which are the blue. Let's see, what is this guy talking about? Is this anything important or not? Yeah. So this is the typical demographic that we have. No matter which continent, which country, these are the range. The research is done by the DIC group. This is what they found, yeah? So now let's look at how to connect and serve these people with us in the serving position. Because normally we would approach a lot of relationship with a very selfish. I admit it, I can be very selfish, but for you to connect better, we have to look at how do we connect, help, and serve them, okay? So in the commercial world or in most relationship, we do have to look at how we be ourselves. You be yourself, don't be someone else, right? This might be a little bit weird for the salespeople, because normally salespeople, we were taught, oh, you have to be like this before you can sell. No, okay. In my experience of 20 plus years doing sales, the best is be yourself. Okay, be your developed self. This is one way of developing yourself, by knowing your colors, your behaviors. Okay, and first things first, people always think, okay, be selfish, my interest first. No, in my experience, again, let's look at how can I help this person. Okay, this is looking into how the other people's interest comes first, and knowing all this, let's look at serve them well. Okay, and you will see a lot of people. Sometimes even when they join the so-called charity bodies, normally they would want to go in for positions and so on, right? The 10%, the 15%, but there are a lot of people who are selfless in doing all this. And one idol of mine is Dr. Jamila Mamun of Mercy Malaysia. You look at how she puts other people's interests first and how she serves all these people, yeah? And the more you give, things will come back to you. This is something like the law of attraction. You just have to believe, okay? And you have to be open to receive. Again, this is something that I learned and practiced for some years from this series of book written by Bob Burke and his co-author, John David Mann. And if you cannot find all these 4 books, just go get the red one. It's called The Go Giver. Okay, at least you must have this book. Okay, coming to the end now. At the end of the day, how we connect, how we relate, how we serve depends on energy. Like if we put our interest in the other people, the energy will flow. Yeah, okay. The energy will flow, more energy flows between the other person and us. You like create a field of energy. And when you create that field of energy, more opportunity, more money, and more whatever will come. You put the right energy, the right stuff comes. You put the not so right energy, the not so right stuff will come. Yeah. So be aware of the energy that you put. And again, energy flows where attention goes. Okay, some reference that I can share with you. The Go Giver series, the Inner Game of Selling, the Strength, right? The Strength Finders, Discovery of Strength, and Simon Sinek books is now. Okay, and thank you. This is the end really, and I would like to see that in the chat room, what 1 or 2 things that you learned today. Yolanda, I love that saying. Okay, great, thank you. Ayla, give me 1 thing that something new for you. So out of the many reference books that I shared today, I do really recommend these 2 books, The Surrounded by Idiots and The Go Giver. Like, get these 2 books. If these are the only 2 books that you buy for the rest of the year, buy these 2 books. Identify colors, behaviors. Yes, that's your personality, how we act also. Okay, let me go back. Okay. Okay, if you guys can help me, give me one thing that I can improve. Yes, you can switch. Thanks, Jeremy. Line cut. Yeah, the internet on me. Okay, we have 3 more minutes. Anyone has any questions? You're welcome to ask. Okay, so all good. And have you taken the names of the books and the authors that I recommended? Okay, if no questions, thank you so much for joining this afternoon's meeting presentation, and thanks so much for your support. Thanks so much for your question and your input. Hope to do better. Right, so I guess we meet up again in some other sessions, or since you know my face now, if you see me in the street, in the train, say hi. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Ira, would you agree that we all have a primary style? Best? Yes, yes. I'm not the best reader, but I can share with you mine. My primary is red and yellow, okay, with a little bit of blue. But when I spend time with the customers, I have to really switch to being green and yellow. Green to relate, to understand them, and yellow at the same time to excite them, to keep things happy and jovial. But when it comes to the detail, I get someone else to help me. I cannot really switch to blue unless when I'm writing documents or reviewing documents. Yeah. So we do have primary, we have internal and external also, and we're able to switch. But when we switch, we can't switch for long really. Because if we switch for long, we can be stressed out. Yeah. So thank you, Hira. Okay, if no other questions, I will end the meeting today. And again, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. Good day and see you guys soon.
Good job. How are you feeling?
I'm great. After the
Okay, glad
second
to hear
meeting
that.
of the day.
Okay, glad to hear that. Alrighty, you can stop the recording and
Okay,
bye.
bye-bye.